got a video planned. For those of you that don't know, I've been talking about it a lot. As of right now in Toy Tower Defense, every unit only has one upgrade path. If you don't know what I mean by that, I mean every time you place down a unit, you can... Whoa, wait. I'm distracted. They added static damage to the static speaker man. That is actually so cool. So whenever I place down a unit, for example, the static speaker man, who literally has the most jiggle physics I've ever seen in this entire game. Wait, why is bro... Wait, no! Telandrix actually added more buns to this man after I said that guy got cake.
What the skibbity is going on?
Either way, as I was saying, every unit only has one upgrade path currently in Toy Tower Defense. As I get more money, I can only upgrade this unit in one single way. However, in other games such as Balloons Tower Defense, you have multiple different upgrade paths on how you want to take your unit. So I thought it'd be fun if we took some of your recommendations, some developer recommendations, as well as my own recommendations as to what some of these upgrade paths should look like. And what I'll do is I'll do this again in the future, so leave your recommendations down below. But considering there's over 180 units in Toy Tower Defense, how am I possibly going to pick a random unit to choose? Here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm on the wiki, and instead of going through the entire list and copying and pasting every single name into a wheel, I am just going to put a random number generator 1 through 200 and just count this camerawoman as number 1, this cameraman as number 2, this sparkler cameraman as number 3, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and see what number we get, and then we'll take that unit and talk about which upgrade paths it would get. So it is number 25, so we definitely have got ourselves a cameraman coming up to bat.
Who's the lucky cameraman?
We're gonna count by 3, so 3, 6, 9, and bingo! Okay, we have an interesting unit. We are going to come up with an upgrade path for the leprechaun cameraman, who is currently labeled as a meta unit. For those of you that don't know it, hello? Oh, there I am. For those of you that don't know what meta units are, I can make a whole video about this, or I can just talk about it more later. Either way, let's talk about the leprechaun. Also, for those of you that don't know, I give out a random hashtag throughout this video to give out free units at the end of the video. So make sure you watch all the way through for that. And also, what's our new subscriber goal? I don't want to say 250K by the end of 2025. That's like a long time. Give me subscriber goals in the comments. Just give me my money. Okay, so obviously to pick its upgrade paths, we're gonna have to place down the unit and see its first upgrade. I think one thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to add at least 2 upgrade paths for every single unit. So that being said, the leprechaun cameraman is a unit that has a boost range, as in anything inside of his range, he gives a boost to. So I definitely think we're gonna lean into that aspect moving forwards. One thing that I thought would be fun for this video is to draw inspiration from where we got inspiration from our tier list from. Or not tier list, rather the upgrade paths, which is going to be from Balloons Tower Defense. So there are a lot of different balloons in Balloons Tower Defense, and I won't talk your guys' ear off too much about this. However, inside of Roblox, obviously the leprechaun cameraman is a mainly pierce unit that does pretty good damage, overall solid range, and he is also a booster unit. He's a relatively cheap unit to level up. He goes all the way to level 4, and he maxes out at 20,000 damage per second with a range of 55, with his boost bubble looking to be about a range of 30? 25 or 30? So let's go ahead and keep everything in mind. So what unit is he the most parallel to in Balloons Tower Defense? Maybe we can draw some inspiration from there. As far as things go in Balloons Tower Defense, there are several different units that do piercing. For example, the dart monkey does pierce. The tack shooter does pierce. The cyber monkey definitely does pierce. Darlie Gutter does pierce. The Monketeer Bucketeer does pierce. And so on and so forth. As far as things go for the leprechaun, I would say he's a mix between the ninja monkey, which is a stealthy and fast monkey that throws bladed shurikens to pop balloons and can target camo balloons. And he's also a mix of the alchemist that brews various potions with different effects, some of them being buffs. For example, Burger's Brew throws special brew to nearby monkeys, giving them extra damage, range, and attack speed, which I think is very extremely fitting for the leprechaun cameraman. So for our leprechaun, I think our main attack, our main track, our upgrade path for the leprechaun cameraman is gonna be just straight damage. Here's my terrible design of how my upgrade path is gonna be for the leprechaun. So we're gonna call this the damage path. This is the damage path. This will be the pierce path, and this will also be the boost path. So they'll all do different aspects of what he currently does. However, they'll definitely more lean into a different identity for the leprechaun. So for example, if we're stealing inspiration from the Berserker, the way that his path starts for the buffs is it starts with him affecting a bigger area. He then gives a buff that allows other monkeys to pop lead balloons and do extra damage to ceramic and Moab class balloons, which are basically just super powerful balloons. And then they start giving the boost to do extra damage, range, and attack speed, and then it gets bigger, and then at his fully maxed out state, the Berserker becomes permanent on monkeys who drink it. Whoa. So that's insanely good. So I definitely think we want to draw inspiration from the permanent brew, especially if you lean into this path. So some way at the end of this upgrade path for his boost, we want to make it so that it lasts. It's a perm. So everything that we give to the boost upgrade path from here on is just going to be permanent to every unit inside of his radius. So I'm assuming what that means is everything inside of here, no matter if he's asleep, no matter if he's stunned, if you delete him, as long as he puts the potion, or rather in his ability, the rainbow on them once, they will have his boost no matter what, which is really cool. But let's not stray too far from his identity here. What is his current boost? His current boost is to get 15% range boost. So we probably want to get it somewhere in the middle where it's still doing 15% range. That looks like 150, but that's 15. We'll start where his level 1 version is 10. And then we'll make it so his maxed out version is 25% range boost, which I think is either the highest in the game or tied for the highest. But since we are leaning into this identity of it getting fully permanent, we are gonna have to tank his damage a little bit. So currently his damage per second is 20,000. So with that being said, we'll make his max DPS with this 15k. Would you guys take a permanent range boost on all your units of 25 range for a little bit less damage from the leprechaun? I think you do. Now we're gonna pull from the ninja for more of that pierce that we were talking about before. And the pierce and the way the balloon works, or the ninja works, is it throws 5 shurikens at once. So I guess this upgrade path could multiply the amount of rays he shoots. So maybe this could be like one of the first upgrade paths where he can target multiple different balloons at once. But if he's already a pierce, does it really? Oh wait, whoa, wait, whoa. Wait. Okay, so picture this, right? So current meta with the leprechaun, a lot of people will set his target to last, right? So he'll be shooting a beam here and be targeting the last toilet no matter what. What if it was that he shoots 2 beams, but the other target could target, like there's 2 target options. He has 2 beams. One could target last, the other one could target like first or strongest. Put me on the development team. Put me on the development team. That is so broken. I'm so smart. Yeah, we're doing that right now. We're gonna say 2 beams. And since we'll be shooting 2 beams, we'll still need to give him some type of a DPS nerf. So we'll do 15k. And throughout his upgrade path, it'll just be based on lower cooldown speed. Like as you upgrade him, his cooldown speed just gets lower and lower and lower. I feel like that's super fitting for a pierce path. And for his damage path, it basically mitigates his range boost. But you could get him to like here and get to 15k because you can upgrade a little bit into each path. But once you go to level 3 and 1, you can't go in any other path past level 2. So you can have 15k here, which is going to be the max over here anyways. But we'll give him a DPS boost right here if you decide to go this path of 25,000. Maybe even 30 to incentivize this path a little bit, considering how good both of these tracks actually are. Either way, this graph looks horrendous. However, I think we nailed these upgrade paths for the leprechaun. Tell me, if you had these upgrade path options for the leprechaun, what would you choose? Would you make it so you could permanently boost all of your units by 25%? Would you rather have 2 beams being shot out, where like 1 beam's getting shot out of his sphere over here, 1 beam's getting shot out of his sphere over here, and they still do pierce at the same time, and then maybe even his pierce can go like to the end of the map or something? Oh, that'd be so cool. And then, or just a 25,000 DPS leprechaun that gives a little bit of range. I think that is 3 pretty solid upgrade paths for the leprechaun cameraman. Let me know what you think about that. But let's move on to another unit. We're back to the random number generator. Who are we gonna do next? 135. Okay, that is a lot of counting. All right. So I had to guess we're probably going to get a speaker We'll find out. 3, 6, 9, 12. At unit 135, which I think I counted correctly. I could have not because I somehow got to odd numbers at some point. It was weird. It was the Scientist TV Man. So let's go ahead and investigate the Scientist TV Man. Either way, the Scientist TV Man is going to be another fun one. And look, they changed the icon on the Scientist TV Man too. It feels like it's Christmas. Either way, the Scientist TV Man is one of the only barrier units in the game. Not only is it one of the only ones, it is the first one. So let's go ahead and place down the Scientist TV Man and inspect him. So, it doesn't show it. However, the Scientist TV Man's barrier does actually do a little bit of damage per second. And if you check the wiki, I believe it's right around 10,000, but its range is tiny. Let's go ahead and fully max this guy. He has 7 levels, which is kind of insane. Either way, his max barrier does 250,000. With that being said, this is a fun unit because there's definitely several different unit upgrade paths that we can take here. And following in the steps of our leprechaun cameraman, if there's any single toilet or any other unit that we follow from toilet tower defense, it is 1,000,000% gonna be the spike factory. The spike factory places down spikes that pop balloons on their own. How is that not like the barrier? It's like the perfect comparison. The way these upgrade paths work is one upgrades paths faster or larger stacks, eventually creating exploding spikes that can wipe out almost anything. One that regularly sets down a carpet of spikes over the whole track, or permaspike. High damage spikes become almost permanent. Okay, we could honestly almost steal everything from here. I actually could see us stealing every single upgrade path from the smart spike. With that being said, we are unironically back to the drawing board, but let's come up with our 3 different upgrade paths. One is obviously just going to be bigger wall. This is going to be the bigger upgrade path. We'll have one that's bigger radius, and then we'll do one that upgrades mainly his damage output. Do we want to do that where he does more damage the closer they get to the wall? Kind of like in an Inferno. I'm cooking with these. Guys, put me on the development team. I am genius. So for our first upgrade path, it's basically just gonna make the wall bigger. And if I recall correctly, the Scientist Clock Man has the biggest wall right now of 600,000. So we would basically just want it to compute to that. I would say, since the Scientist Clock Man also gives money, we would want to make it bigger than that. But we don't want to probably be better than the Sandman because he also only upgrades walls. So, I don't know, just at the end of its path, it's 750k. So 150k more than the Scientist Clockman, but 250,000 less than the Titan Sandman. But it's also an exclusive, and the Titan Sandman kind of sucks. So do we just make it better than? We'll do it 1 mil, so it's slightly better than the Sandman. I don't really like it, but we want people to use it. So I'm gonna do 1,000,000, and you still get that 10,000 damage per second. And for the radius, for its final ability, obviously I'm stealing from the balloon here of the carpet of spikes, where it regularly sets carpet of spikes over the whole track. I love that idea, especially for the Scientist TV Man. So it's gonna have an ability like at the bottom of the map called, like, I don't know, Sliquify, I guess. Like clocks have the certain time abilities. He'll have his own unique special ability where he can just fill the entire map with what would make sense, because spikes doesn't make sense for balloon or for toilet tower defense, and like slowing on the entire map doesn't make sense. We still want him to do damage, but it has to make sense for the Scientist TV Man. Like chemicals? Like poison? Would it make sense if you just like put a small tick of poison all over the map? Because, you know, it's a science, or like electric shock. Like what if he shocks everyone? Oh, he stuns. No, because that's just like time stop. What if he shocks every toilet on the map where they take double damage for 10 seconds? Oh my... Hopeless. Stop. Hopeless. Who gave you extra brain cells today? That was all. I'm hyping myself up, but I deserve it. That was smart. So do 2x damage, 10 seconds, let's say 500-second cooldown. And then he'll still have a wall that has 250k here, but 0 damage per second. That would be meta. That would actually be meta. And then, of course, I was talking about it earlier. We'll have a 500k wall, but inside of a 25 5-meter range, he'll start doing 5 damage per second to eventually doing 10,000 a second, or 10k per 0.1 seconds. So 100,000 damage per second, essentially like an Inferno Dragon, and the radius of 10 seconds. So if you guys know what the Inferno Dragon is from like Clash Royale, once it locks onto something, the longer it stays locked, the higher his multiplier gets up. We essentially would put some type of a laser beam onto the Scientist TV Man the same way, where it would slowly do a higher multiplier up to 10,000 per 0.1 seconds, which would eventually be 100,000 damage per second after 10 seconds. Wow, that sounds so complicated. It's not. If you followed me, you would think it's cool too. Because if you mix it in with like a time stop feature when it's already at its max damage, that's just like bonus damage with the wall on top. Oh, dude, I cooked here. Somebody cooked here. What's his name? Hopeless. But that's gonna be the upgrade pass for the Scientist TV Man. This was fun. Either way, you guys might not believe it, but this video actually took me 90 minutes to record. So that's gonna be all the time I have for units today. But if you guys show that you enjoy this concept and press that like and subscribe button, I will hands down make another one because this was super fun to me. Either way, let's give away some free units. And if you want to get a Hopeless, learn to speak. And if you don't want to rely on luck to get a unit from me, you can always click the join button down below and do the get a unit tier where you get a Mythic Rarity Plus signed by me, guaranteed. Sometimes I even give out 2. So consider joining it and it'll help me upgrade my PC and my microphone eventually. Thank you. Oh my god. I was going through the comments of this video. I was gonna pick something to give away a unit, and it's filled with congratulations, and I just broke down. I'll be honest. I broke down and I just started crying. I'm not really an emotional guy. I guess I've just been so focused for so long, and it all just kind of hit me at once. Because as a YouTuber and you go through your day-to-day, you kind of lose touch a little bit, especially for me, where I make 3 videos a day and I make all my own thumbnails. I edit all of them. And I don't really socialize a whole lot, and you kind of lose touch with the aspect of how many people have actually subscribe to you and watch your content every day that you impact every day, because at some point it just becomes a numbers game. But there is a face behind every single one of those, and seeing all these comments really hit home right now for me. So I can't even find any comments with the hashtag, so I'll give a bunch of stuff away tomorrow. We'll put the hashtag on this video, hashtag celebrate, I guess, just hashtag celebrate. Since we hit 100k, I might watch the whole Skibidi Toilet series live or something like that. But yeah, guys, I have something planned soon for a potential face reveal, so stay tuned for that. I'm waiting on a certain something to come into cahoots before I do, so I'm hoping I can do that in less than 2 weeks. Only time will tell. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you. You've changed my life in the best way possible. Thank you. Thank you.